And so, going back to this, like, yeah, this upskilling, I think one thing that we've been chatting about already is this idea of engineering values or building out values for your team and setting a foundation to, what you really care about and how you want, the team to interact with each other.
Right.
What are your thoughts on creating that foundation, these core values of a team?
Yeah, absolutely. One of the things about culture that often is overlooked is um, culture, really simply defined, is the way that we work, right? When a group of people come together, how you behave together so that you can achieve your mission, right? It is really what culture is, right? And so very often organizations let it happen, especially dev teams. They just say, okay, we're going to just get some stuff built. Let's do it. It's the other way to look at it is to really just sit down, take, and constantly be working on this, but look at what you want to achieve as a team and look at what are the things or the ways of working that can help you achieve that. Or what are the mindsets, ways of thinking, approaching your work that can help you achieve that. One example is, we want to, one value that I really like is we drive 10x leverage, right? This is a value that I use in my team, for example, where we say, you know, we're going to deliver maximum impact with minimum effort. And what that means is whenever I'm doing my work, I'm going to always be thinking about how do I short circuit this problem, right? What is the laziest way that I can get it done while driving the most impact? Another one that I really like is, and it's really particularly important in a startup, is I call it building a rocket ship while flying it. Because you think that every startup wants to be that rocket ship. They want to be a unicorn, right? What they don't realize is we've shifted quite a bit from the age of we're going to go and build this thing and make it really beautiful, make it perfect, and test it and test it and test it and theorize about it for a long time. Now in this age of like building something and releasing it very quickly, right?
Mm-hmm.
The web has made it possible for you to run software and update it at the same time, right? So really embracing that, not just the dev team embracing it, but the customer service people, the customer success people, the sales people, like the concept of thinking about your product as an evolving thing versus let's wait till it has this and feature and this other feature and this other feature before we can sell it, or let's wait till it has all these features before we can introduce it to customers, right? What is the minimum viable, and then how do you constantly start to update it based on feedback from your users?
Mm-hmm.
It's what I've noticed is the least intuitive thing about this whole aspect is what happens when you try to build a rocket ship while flying it. Things break, right? And sometimes, if you're a developer in that situation and things are, yes, traffic is growing and things are constantly breaking because you're constantly building, you know, um, there's a point where you start to feel like your team isn't good enough, right? Like maybe we can never do it. Maybe like we're too crappy of a team. Um, but actually, it's inevitable for bugs to exist in your code, especially if you're constantly tweaking it. You can't just sit back and go, let me not build anything because if I build something will break, right? Um, Now, of course, the answer is not to always be breaking it. You're always going to build unit tests. You're always going to try to do things to prevent things from breaking, but you can't entirely rid yourself of software issues. And the second that you understand that, then you switch your mindset into building software that is fault tolerant. building a team that is fault tolerant across your whole organization, right? How do I stop trying to chase this dream of software that has no bugs and instead chase a dream of software that is resilient, a team powering it that is even more resilient?